The next day you go out in your backyard, you pick up the axe, you go to the same tree. 5 times. If every day you pick up an axe and you go to the same tree and you take that axe and you swing 5 times at that tree, just 5, not 15, not 50, not 500, 5 times. Let me ask you a question. What is eventually going to happen to that tree? That tree will... Absolutely. Case dismissed. We don't need to talk nor debate or question about the tree falling. It will fall. And what's interesting is, we only swung at that tree 5 times. But we every day went to that tree and we 5 times with that axe, we hit that tree. Now, if the tree is big, it may not fall for a couple of years. If the tree is small, maybe a couple of months. You see, the size of the tree will determine the time it falls. But it doesn't matter what size the tree is. It will fall if you every day swing 5 times, take an axe, and hit that tree. You've got to ask yourself a question this morning. What's my tree? What's my dream? What do I really in my life want to accomplish? And by the way, it's what's my tree, not what are my trees. You see, if you go out every day and you swing 5 times at a different tree, you don't knock any trees down, you just have a scarred forest. Most people, that's how they run their life. They just scar things up. They don't fell the tree because they don't consistently come back to the same place and consistently swing 5 times at it. So let's go back to my tree. My tree is writing books. That's what I do. So people say, well, my God, John, how do you've written 72 books? Oh my gosh, you must be brilliant, you must be a genius. 72 books, oh. Nothing brilliant, nothing genius. Or I told you how long it took me to write my first book. So genius is not in it. In fact, if you just look at me, all of you should be greatly encouraged today. By the way, this is not in the teaching, but I'm going to stop long enough because you need to hear it. Success creates a gap between you and other people. Are you with me? I call it the success gap. People look at people that are highly successful and they see the money they make and the places they go and the friends they have and the things they do. And they say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They're a star. They're a star. And when you're successful, you've got a choice to make. You can either keep that gap really big and be the star. And if you keep the gap really big, you're the star and you have what they call fans. You have fans that follow you around. They're fans. Or you can make a determination to close that gap. You see, many years ago, I said, I'll close the gap. And you close the gap by not talking about how great you are. You close the gap by talking to people about the things that you've missed and the things that you failed at. And you use a lot of self-depreciating humor, and you help people understand that you're not a star. You see, my name's John. I don't want fans in my life. I want friends. And I determined the only way you get friends is close the gap. Because when you close the gap, you make success possible for other people. Now they don't see you as the star and say, I would like to be like you. They see you as a friend and say, I could be like you. All of a sudden it's off of you and what you've done, and it goes to what they can do, and it is empowering, it is releasing to people. And if you really want to, in Beachbody, if you really want to just develop a culture, a culture of success, close that gap. I work hard at it. When I go international, it's just rock star stuff, and I won't allow it. I just won't. I mean, they want to usher me in, they want to usher me out. I get the security guys all the way. I walk through the crowd, I shake hands, we take pictures, I talk, I kiss babies. I want to be your friend. Well, when I'm done today, I want to walk off stage. I want you to say, I can do that. I can be successful. You see, if you want fans when you walk off stage, everybody talks about how great you are. If you want friends when you walk off stage, everybody thinks how great they can be. And there's a world of difference between those two. There's a world of difference between those two. Now, let's go back to the rule of 5 in writing. People ask me all the time, they say, how do you write your books? Well, it's very simple. One word at a time. I've not found another method. I've tried a couple times to a blank page, look at it and go, be filled. Never worked for me. I've got a 4-color pen and a legal pad, and I write one word at a time. So they say, well, how come you've written so many books? Well, number one is the secret is get older. But I have a rule of 5 for writing. You see, my tree is writing books. And every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. And you look at me and say, John, what do you mean by every day? What I mean by every day is every day. Now, okay. Just one more question. When you say every day, you mean every day? Can I tell you something? Every Christmas. Guess what I do every Christmas? Every Christmas I read, think, file, ask questions, write. Guess what I do on my birthday? Every birthday I read, think, ask questions, write, file. Guess what I do on my anniversary? None of your business. But during the day I read, think, file, ask questions. Every day. You see, the key is every day. Can I tell you something? You're better to do essential things every day than big things someday. We overestimate the event. We underestimate the process. And the law of consistency says you can't do that. You can't underestimate the process. The secret. Okay, here, I told you earlier, I'd tell you the secret of success. You thought I'd forgotten it. I've forgotten it. We'll tell you right now, the secret of, no, I'm going to tell you right now, that was just too fast. You'll take it for granted. I'll make you wait longer. But look at your neighbor and say, sometime John's going to teach you the secret of success. Go ahead and tell him.
Sometime John's going to teach you the secret of success.
See how much better it is when you have to wait for something? Now you're ready to listen. The secret to your success is determined by your daily agenda. What you do every day determines your success. Every day, by what you do, you're either getting better or worse. Every day, you're either preparing or repairing. Every day. Every day. People come to my life and they say, John, what books? What books should I read? Have you written 72? I can tell you what books you should read. You should read the 15 Laws of Growth, which I'm teaching on today, because I'm going to give you maybe one more law, then I'm done. The second thing you ought to read a book I wrote called Today Matters. That'll change your life. I have what I call the Daily Dozen, 12 things you need to do on a daily basis that will ensure your success. And the third book is How Successful People Think. Because the greatest gap between successful and unsuccessful people is the thinking gap. Successful people think entirely differently than unsuccessful people. By the way, for some good stuff that's just absolutely free, you can follow me on Twitter. Be like 800,000 other people, and the reason that 800,000 people follow me is every day I put quotes. I put success quotes for you every day in there. On Friday I blog a new lesson every week on success. It's free. You can go on the web and get Minute with Maxwell every morning, 60 seconds, where I take a word and I talk to you about how that makes you a better leader. That thing's gone viral all over the world. They're all free, so just go to johnmaxwell.com. You'll get anything. It's all free. It's all free for you. That stuff is. Books aren't. Books aren't. By the way, when I wrote my book, Everyone Communicates, You Connect, I blogged it. I blogged a chapter a week. We had 100,000 people make comments. And we took some of their comments. They really were good. I'd say, help me. I'd give them the chapter, and then I'd say, make it better. And they'd give me ideas. We average changing 6 to 7 things per chapter. And I'd say, yeah, just give me your name, give me your name. And I'd put their little thought in there, and I'd give them credit. I said, I'll give you credit. I won't give you royalties, but I'll give you credit. And then, when the book came out, they were surprised. I took their pictures, and I put it all over the book. So when they got the book, they said, dude, here I am. I'm here. I wish I had time to talk to you about communication. Oh my God. It's a phenomenal subject. If you can communicate effectively with people, the world will be yours. The ability to connect with people is the number one success ability that will give you what you need in life. That's a fact. Okay. Let me teach you one law. I've got 4 minutes and 16 seconds. One more law. That gives you 5. That means you only have 10 to go. And if you don't get the book by the weekend, you probably never will make it in this business. Law number 5 is the law of environment. And the law of environment says growth thrives in conducive surroundings. In other words, you grow better when you're in an environment that is conducive to growth. And I say this law to last because I think that's one of the great contributing things that Beachbody does for you. I think one of the great things that this organization does for you is it gives you a growth environment. It puts you in an environment that is conducive to grow and develop yourself. I mean, you're very fortunate because when I was your age, I wasn't in a growth environment that was conducive. In fact, I was in an organization that wasn't any good. Their idea of progress was moving backward slowly. Okay? I was in trouble. And so as a 26-year-old kid, I wrote down what I'm going to give you as I wrap this up today. I wrote down because I needed to put myself in a growth environment, and I wasn't in one. And so I began to ask myself, what does it look like to have a growth environment that is conducive to help me to develop myself? And here's what I wrote. My growth environment is a place, number 1, where others are ahead of me. In other words, somebody's faster, somebody's smarter, somebody's more successful, somebody's more experienced. Other people are ahead of me. I want to be in a growth environment where I'm not number 1. In fact, let me just say this to you. When you're at the head of the class, you're in the wrong class. You need to go get into another class where you're not the head of the class, where somebody is smarter, where somebody is better, where somebody is quicker, where somebody does have more knowledge, where somebody has had more success. You always got to be around people that'll stretch you and challenge you and bring the best out of you. A growth environment, number 2, is a place where I'm continually challenged. In other words, where I wake up every day and I have to climb a mountain. I'm not coasting. I'm not just riding the wave. If I make it today, it's because I got to climb a mountain. I got to do something big. A growth environment number 3 is a place where the focus is forward. It points to tomorrow as a better day than today. A growth environment number 4 is a place where the atmosphere is affirming, where people around me, they encourage me. Encouragement is so huge for your own development and growth. And that's one of the great things about Beachbody. It's an encouraging environment. My father's amazing. He's still alive. He's 92. Phenomenal. Great health. Still works. It's amazing. I think it's so fun. He's in a senior citizens complex. He lives in a village because he can care for himself, and so he became kind of like the pastor of this village. So he had a Sunday morning service and he filled it up, and so he went to another Sunday morning service and he filled it up, and so he went to an afternoon service and he filled it up. So we're having lunch the other day and he looked at me and said, "Son," he said, "we're just growing so fast." He's 92. Get the picture. He said, "I'm looking into satellite right now. I'm thinking about satellite." He's 92. He's 92. He's a major encourager. Just encourages everybody. One time I was talking, I said, "Dad," I said, how do you know a person needs encouragement?" He said, "If they're breathing." If they're breathing, they need encouragement. A growth environment is a place, number 5, where you're out of your comfort zone. Not out of your gift zone. Never leave your gift zone. Folks, listen to me. Once you find your gift, never leave it. Never leave it. So you never leave your gift zone, but you want to be out of your comfort zone. You want to be over your head. And when you're over your head, it doesn't matter how deep the water is. You're over your head. You want to be out of your comfort zone. Number 6, a growth environment is a place where you wake up excited. You love what you do. Nobody has to pump you up. Nobody has to get you up. Nobody has to motivate you to get up. You love it. Number 7, a growth environment is a place where failure is not your enemy. You can fail and be encouraged because you realize you're probably one step closer. I wrote a book several years ago called Failing Forward. Life-changing. I'm right. Another book comes out in October. My next book, which is like Failing Forward. It's called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. Good title, isn't it? Doggone. After 72, you just get good. It's the law of consistency. A growth environment is number 8, where others are growing. In other words, you're not the only one growing, so you're not like sticking out like, "Oh man, you're growing," and the rest of us, we haven't grown for a long time. Number 9, a growth environment is a place where people desire change. They want to change because they understand they can't grow without changing. And number 10, a growth environment is a place where growth is modeled for you. You get to see it with your own eyes. And you get to experience it, and it's expected of you. That's what a growth environment is. My time is up. I'm going to close my legal pad. And I'm going to say you were in pure delight